Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. The video blog today, and thanks for joining me, comes from the CA corporate headquarters, New York, Islandia. People ask me where Islandia is. It's about 60 miles plus or minus 1 or 2 east of Manhattan on this little part of New York called Long Island. Look it up on the map and you can find me there. Google me and you can see where I am sitting in this world. Well, you might be saying, what's he doing with this strange hat on? I'm on my way to IT Service Management Forum Australian Conference, where I'll be speaking several times. But today I just want to focus on one of those speeches, which is on cloud computing. Cloud computing and the fact that I'm going to be doing a panel on governance of the cloud. I was with a CIO the other day, and that CIO said to me, I'm going to move everything to the cloud. I don't need any governance, I don't need any service levels, I don't need any controls, I don't need to worry about anything. All I'm going to do is get a bill at the end of the month, pay the bill, and based on how much I consume, and we're all good. That's fine. So I asked him, I said, what are you doing about legal issues, compliance, ensuring the service levels are met, making sure you're charged the right amount of money, ensuring that you're getting value for the investment that you make? He thought about it for a moment, and he thought, well, I've got a bill at the end of the month, and if the users aren't happy, they're going to complain. So that'll be my metric. It's quite acceptable, isn't it? And if you think about where we started from in terms of service management, that's probably where we started. I remember when I was back in IT many years ago in the data center, and the users called to say their reports were wrong. That was an indication that you actually got the data processing wrong, and you had to go and look at it and do something about it. You'd learn from that experience, put a check and balance in place, and that error wouldn't happen again. This intuitive way of learning, if you think about it, given that IT is now a fairly mature industry, we should be embedding that within the technology we deliver. That's what it's about. It's about learning about it. But then you've got to balance that versus the risk. What's the point of putting a huge, complex control in place if you only ever see the error once every 1,000 years and the error is not critical? Many people have that opinion of ITIL. We've spent so much time on incident management and implementing incident management that we get incidents to the point where I almost know about the incident before it happens. You know, maybe it's time to think about doing some other things, some root cause analysis, gathering those incidents together and working out what the root cause is and validating whether it's better to just put a workaround in place or absolutely do a change and change your business process. So back to cloud computing for a moment. So if you think about cloud computing, these challenges and problems of upgrading and managing the software, managing the system, managing the service, having to pay people, having to go through project review board meetings, they're all taken away with cloud computing. That's why people like it. That's why people are interested in it. You know, I was reading an article recently about an organisation, a newspaper actually, that went and archived all its papers over many years. Instead of doing it and booking it through IT and taking weeks for the project to happen, they went to the cloud, took a base of server capacity and did it over a very short period of time. Those types of uses of technology are every day today. We need to allow for them. So cloud computing and governance of cloud computing is critical. We need to understand what laws we operate, what business rules we operate, and we need to ensure that we comply with them. You need to ensure that you've got them built into the process. So one of the things I'm going to be talking about in Australia is the fact that as you go to cloud computing, ensure that you've got your governance or your rule set or your management set in place in advance. Ensure you've got a process called vendor management working or procurement working so that you can measure the delivery of your cloud provider and ensure that you're delivering value. ITIL talks about this today. Another comment I had is ITIL relevant in the cloud? Is COBIT relevant in the cloud? Is ISO standards relevant in the cloud? Absolutely. The trick here is, as I wrote about recently in my Agile ITIL blog, is you've got to implement the right amount based on the risk. You've actually got to sit there and not just implement verbatim things that you read about. You've got to think about the concepts and what you're going to do. So take some time, have a little look, have a look at what you need in terms of implementing enough, implement that based on the risk, and then move on to the next project. There's a lot of opportunities here, and I believe technology and cloud computing and other forms of concepts that we're seeing at the moment, such as rapid virtualization, they're going to continue. So keep your skills up, keep watching the blog, and I'll talk to you from Australia. Take care.